Welcome to Groundbreaking Vision. I'm so glad to have you join us. I'm Harriet Kelly-Gibby, and I'm your host and producer of this video podcast. Groundbreaking Vision is about people and ideas who are breaking through the clutter of culture and creating positive change in the world. This is a show about all of us. It's about business practices, tips, and trends that help us elevate our experience of life and share our personal missions. So some of the topics we'll be covering every week are fashion, culture, arts and entertainment, commercial development, health, wellness, beauty, and technology. I know that might sound like a lot of ground to cover, but that's one of the reasons this is called Groundbreaking. Today we're going to be focusing on technology. Melissa, I am so glad you're here.
Thank you, Harriet, for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I want to hear all about what you're doing. I want to hear about you personally. And I want to talk about this amazing technology that you've offered me and everybody else here in the studio. So we're broadcasting right now from your studio at On Air Media. So tell us how you got the idea for this amazing company. And then I want to get to how you juggle it, being a mom and an entrepreneur and a producer and on-air talent.
What about a wife?
A wife.
He's always last. It's fine.
Welcome to the modern age.
I know. Well, I have to say, so it kind of goes back. 3 kids, 3 different carpool lines, and I thought to myself, okay, in the Texas heat, I'm sweating, my brain's out, I'm by myself, I'm living in my car, going from place to place.
Right.
How can I connect with other people? Parents, nannies, grandparents, I didn't care. I just needed a connection. So I developed Carpool Talk Show.
And tell us about Carpool Talk Show.
Okay, so Carpool Talk Show was my podcast that I did. I was looking last night, maybe 78, almost 80 episodes in studio. And then we'd go out into the carpool lines and greet parents and give the parents a little surprise during carpool, not the kids. This was green juices, facials, floral presentations, and because it's all about our kids, but I was offering real conversations with people about real topics. And next thing you know, it was like this response was so big, people wanted to hear more and learn more, and I knew that there was a need for more podcasting, and people that would come in, they would say, well, how do I do this? I want to have a show. What do I do?
Well, you make it look so easy.
This was so much fun. And I'm going, oh my goodness. So after Carpool was hugely successful, we had some really great guests and a good team. I met Jagger.
Tell me about Jagger.
Okay, so let's talk. Well, first
Jagger's your partner.
Jagger's my partner.
Yes.
And funny enough, I'm so embarrassed to say that I grew up like under a rock because I had heard of him, but I didn't listen to him, and which I think actually benefited me. I miss those days because I hear he was amazing, and I've seen some old videos and heard some things, but I got to meet him for who he really is, not as a personality. So we met and we said, you know what, we have to do this. So we decided to create a turnkey operation to help people independently produce their productions. And that's what we're doing. We're letting people come in, produce whatever is on their mind, and Yeah, we haven't really said much, and it's already very busy.
Very busy. So how many productions do you have right now in the studios?
Weekly shows, around 30.
Wow.
Yeah, so right now we're in here live. We
Right.
have someone else in the other studios. We have 2 networks.
Uh-huh.
We have Pod City, which is more of our headphones, microphone, radio style. I do a show on there on Fridays called the Oddcast Podcast. Jagger calls in at the end of each show, and some of his old crew, we're all together talking about who knows what. And we're in there, and that's more, everything does have switching though with cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you're saying now.
Yeah.
And then in here, this is the on-air studio. It's shot in 4K. We're wearing lavalier microphones. It's a little step up. It's more of that soft seating, if you want it, talk show style production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk a minute about podcasting, because it is, in the moment, it is the way to communicate with people, and it's why I'm here, certainly. So tell me a little bit about podcasting. And we have a graphic that we're going to show you.
Well, right now, podcasting, it's huge.
Medium
It's
of the moment.
Yes. Someone was in here saying if you don't have a podcast, it's like not having LinkedIn. If it's your digital business card. So, and yes, we have some people that are doing this for their business. Some people, we would call them hobbyists. We've had people come in and they want to do coursework and offer that for people to listen to. But we're all on the go. We want to listen to topics on purpose. We want to pick what we are viewing and listening to, not just saying, okay, we're going to turn on the TV and see what's out there. We want to actually interact and engage with our audience. So as I listen to podcasts, but I also, as I'm producing them, keeping all of that in mind. This is where it's going.
Right.
We're all picky. We're all going to get what we want. We're not going to sit there and, yes, I may DVR Saturday Night Live, but that's a pain. I've got to go back and find it. And it's only that time. And this is where I can find this information. I'm on a walk. I'm on a bike ride, whatever. I can listen to the content that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, so it's very selective. We can really target an audience. People are listening because they want to be there. They're specifically focused on the subject matter of whatever podcast they're listening to. Most of the time people are listening on their phones. When
Yeah,
they're
I would
walking.
say that phones, or it just, I mean, I definitely think that's a big one. But we do broadcast, what we also do here is
Which
we're
is what we're doing
streaming
now.
live
Yeah.
through our website, on Air Media, on -airmedia.com, and through, if you had a website, we could stream there, YouTube, Facebook Live. So we can stream and
Which we
we can
do.
reach your audience. And these are the people you are interacting with and you're engaging with. So your audience is getting to see you present content that will make sense to them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a really big piece. The other thing is, right now, if you were to say, okay, I'm going to go buy airtime on the radio or on TV, it's a fortune.
Yeah.
Okay, trust me. I know it's so expensive. So what we're saying is, let's dial that back. I don't care if you're buying radio time on the weekday or the weekend. It's a lot. We're saying we're going to just baseline. Let's just make this affordable. Come in. We'll produce it. We're going to make this beautiful framework. We're going to do your opens. Jagger is heavily involved in all of the creative with the music and the graphics and the digital animation. And then whatever you choose to do inside of that framework, it's on you. So if you want to monetize, go for it. We aren't going to touch your brand. We're not going to say, okay, so listen, you've been doing this for a while. We've got your studio time. So now we're going to be in your pocket for your advertisers. And then let's say someone bigger than On Air Media decides to pick up your show, we're going to own part of the rights. No way.
Right.
You're going to own 100% of the rights to your show and monetize. That just makes sense. I think that ego has to be taken away from all of this, and we all have to just do what we do best. We will produce an amazing framework, but again, whatever goes inside of it, it's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and we
Beautifully
also
said.
are going to give every show, just like right now we have Jansen here, and I wish people we should have had a camera aiming the other way so they could have seen everything. But every show has an engineer, so the people that come in here can be talent, and we're going to roll in videos and graphics live. The post-production process is simple, and the best is we're providing a platform for everyone. We want just everyone to come in and give us content that we should be hearing.
Yeah, it's a great way to connect. You've done a super job. But
Well,
let's get to you.
here
So
we
let's
go.
talk about engineering your life. How do
Okay.
you juggle it all? That's what people really want to know, because we're
Yeah.
all working moms
Right.
or women. Most of the people that I deal with certainly are very, very successful women and juggling so many different things. So the expectations that we have of ourselves are huge. So how
Yeah.
do you juggle your life and make it all work? And how do you take care of yourself while you're doing it?
Great question. I think I rode my bike yesterday for 10 minutes, so that was really exciting. I was like, okay, that works. I'm sweating, right? You know what? I think it's been really great because now that we've had our third child, so we're kind of going through the process again, I can't be there for everything. And I think it's a really good lesson. And not that I don't want to be. I try, and I want to be there. But in life, it's just not always perfect.
Right.
And I have to do the things that fulfill me, meaning work and what I'm doing right now. This is it. I know, and I'm so fulfilled. But that makes me a better parent.
Right.
So I may not be able to be at the whatever presentation, but it's going to make me better for when I am at the next event, or maybe at dinner we're having a better conversation. Because it's not like I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it on the flip side for parents or moms that are home or dads that they do.
Right.
I think that the judgment of all of that needs to go away anyway.
Right.
But you just have to find where you're kind of in your groove.
Did you come to that awareness through a series of process, or did you, of knowing that you can't be there for everything and it's going to be okay? And I'm still going to be your mom, and I'm still going to do everything and deliver on as many things as I can because you want that connection. But I think that's a wonderful awareness to come to, that when I was raising my kids, I thought I had to be there for everything.
Oh my
so I was juggling
course.
producing fashion shows and modeling
Right.
and writing scripts and nonprofit fundraising and being a mom and picking up carpool, and it was overwhelming. So
And it's almost, right, and it's almost like you can go that route and try to do it all.
Right.
And just have a nervous breakdown, or just do what you can.
Yeah.
And I do think it takes time. Something happens when you turn 40, and I'm past that. But I think when I turned 40, it was like, you know what? Calm down.
Yeah.
You just can't do it all. You're not going to make everyone happy. Not everyone's going to love
Did
every
you find
decision.
that awareness on your own?
Oh my gosh, therapy. What?
Yay.
Yay! I mean, I have the best therapist. I don't want to give out her name because then you'll book her. But let's be real, right?
Yeah. So you had some coaching.
A ton. Yeah. I
To
think that,
arrive there, yeah.
and again, I mean, some people, if you can do it on your own, high five.
Yeah.
I needed someone outside of all of it to say, okay, here's where you are. Because I think, again, I go back to the carpool days, having 3 kids at 3 different schools, juggling that, and literally sweating, racing, and were you the first one in the carpool line? And it's
I would produce a fashion show for like 1,500 people, and the show was usually over around 2. I change clothes, get in the car, run and sit in carpool line, same thing. And it's like the shock of going from one to another and still being present for all of it.
You can.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, do I get the occasional, Mommy, how long is that phone call going to be?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, shh, okay, I'm almost done. But I mean, back to your original question, I think that it takes, after, you see how you can't succeed, going, trying the hamster wheel.
Right.
And having someone from the outside say, you know what, it's okay.
It's okay.
You may not make everything.
Yeah.
You may be late. Your kid may miss a party.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good lesson.
It's a
I mean, obviously
wonderful
for me,
lesson.
but for my
Yeah.
children.
Very.
They need to know
Yeah.
it's not always going to be perfect.
Yeah. And you
And I
are
know-
that role model for them to
I
know
hope
this
so.
is how you do it all and still maintain your happiness.
And it's not always perfect. Even it's not always happiness. But I think that's okay too. And I think we all need to, be communicating. And of course, my children are we're all like on our phones and my gosh, these video games and things. But to communicate and talk. So even at dinner time, and we really try to just put the phones down. And of course, it seems canned. Okay, who wants to go first? Tell me about your day. Tell me one good thing and one bad, we try not to say the bad thing. But I think we just have to practice and communicate and try. Even my husband and I yesterday, it's like we had 2 minutes to have a conversation, and you would have thought it was like we were in junior high. We were sitting in the guest bedroom talking, and it was like, I kind of laughed to myself. Like, we don't even get this anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have that time. But
And what things do you do for yourself? What are those things that
goodness.
you do for yourself that renews you, nourishes you? Because this is a lot.
it's a lot. Okay.
And everything we just talked about, it's a lot. So we all have our secrets. So what are some of the secret things? And if you don't have them, I'm going to give you some more to do.
I'm going to say, okay, can I say
you.
a secret? That's
Yeah.
like, it's, oh my goodness. Okay, so I order groceries at midnight. I did that the other night because I just don't have time to grocery shop. So I'll do that. I don't sleep much. So at midnight, I'll order groceries. and they'll be delivered the next morning. It's so great. Shipped is the website I use, and they'll text you and say, "Hey, it looks like the bananas are not so great," or
how nice.
And like take a
partner
picture.
For groceries.
Oh my, it's amazing, and I'm just so grateful to have that. I do try to exercise. I need to.
What kind of exercise do you do?
I have a Peloton, and so that's been.
And
really,
you actually use it?
I did yesterday for 10 minutes. Like I said, yeah, that was a big deal.
10 minutes matters.
It wasn't working, but I just realized it wasn't plugged in. So I figured it out, and we're good to go now. What else do I do? You know, I don't know. I think that in a weird way, I enjoy arts and crafts with my daughter.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So yesterday even, we were watching one of those, there's these shows on YouTube where they teach you how to draw. And so we were making like watermelon and ice cream cones, but it's teachers that teach children how to draw. But there's something that kind of helps me with my mind kind of calm down with drawing, and I'm not good at it. And I really try to kind of shut down the work stuff. You know, at 7 o'clock, I'm done. I mean, I try to, of course, there's things come up, but I really try to stay away from the phone and try to be present.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I need more secrets. Help me. What do I mean? Do I need to get a massage? Probably. Do I need to meditate? Yes.
Oh, have you tried Headspace?
No, I'm still supposed to download that app. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's a great one. And they have all different links of meditations, and you can do them on your phone sitting in carpool line. I've done them sitting in my car before going to a big meeting. Just take 3 minutes and breathe and listen. So it's an app called Headspace, and I highly recommend it to everybody.
And we talked about it, and someone else told me to do that, and I didn't do it, so I'm gonna have to do it today. But yoga, I do my daughter and I will same thing. She takes yoga at school, so she'll kind of take me through some stuff, some poses. Yeah. But I think it's definitely a juggle, trying to figure out how can I take time to read, and reading books that are and articles that are relevant to what's going on in our industry, and
child rearing and marriage
and oh my gosh, all of that. And then we have a date night every Saturday night. That is actually, we have a babysitter no matter what, every Saturday night, even if we don't have plans.
Nice.
So there's a secret right there.
Yeah.
We can even go sit and grocery shop if we do that, and sit in the car. We've done that just to get away.
Yeah.
Be like, you put them down tonight. I don't want to deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so great. I really appreciate you coming, and I want you to come back again.
Okay.
And tell us how the business has changed and
well,
any
we're
more
moving.
secrets.
Well, we don't have a secret.
Right.
Okay, so we're moving.
Tell us about the move.
Can I talk about it?
Please, tell us about the
move.
move.
So we've purchased a 12,000 square foot building, and it's going to be fabulous. We are going to have space to lease if anyone in the industry wants to look at office space to lease, and we'll have access to our massive cyc wall, huge white cyc wall. We're going to have 25 by 25 soundproof studios, not like with soundproof panels on the walls, like the real deal. We're going to have a really neat lounge, and it's just the whole thing. The space is incredible. Jagger's been amazing. I'm so lucky to have a business partner.
So talented.
It's
ridiculous.
I don't even know how I got this lucky. I said to him yesterday, I was going through the pictures of him for this, and I said, "You were so handsome," and he just is like, I said, "I just can't even believe, like, why? And you're so talented. Why me?" And he's like, "Oh gosh, I just wanted to go quietly, and then you came along." We laugh, but no, we're excited, and I'm excited for you.
Yes.
In your show, because I know you have some really big plans.
We do.
And I know that your viewers are just going to be so lucky.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it and
of
helping us get
course.
it off the ground.
Having so much fun. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harriet.
Thanks for being here. Talking about entertainment now, this is the week of the 48th Annual USA Film Festival. It starts Wednesday at the Angelica. It's one of the oldest and most prestigious film festivals in the world, and it takes place every year here in Dallas. Over half the films are free to attend, and you can check out the whole lineup at www.usafilmfestival.com. So I wanted to share two of the films I'm most excited about seeing. The first one is called RGB. It's an inspirational documentary about every woman's favorite Supreme, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Let's take a look.
I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks.
Don't forget the bull in the china shop.
We welcome today Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
She's become such an icon.
Do you mind signing this copy?
I am 84 years old, and everyone wants to take a picture with me.
Notorious RBG. Yeah.
When you come right down to it, the closest thing to a superhero I know.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg changed the way the world is for American women.
I became a lawyer when women were not wanted by the legal profession.
Thousands of state and federal laws discriminated on the basis of gender. She was following in the footsteps of the battle for racial equality. She wanted equal protection for women.
Men and women are persons of equal dignity, and they should count equally before the law.
She captured for the male members of the court what it was like to be a second-class citizen.
The point is that the discriminatory line almost inevitably hurts women.
I did see myself as kind of a kindergarten teacher in those days because the judges didn't think sex discrimination existed.
I have had the great good fortune to share life with a partner truly extraordinary for his generation.
He was the first boy I ever knew who cared that I had a brain.
She is a center of power on and off the court.
Every time Justice Ginsburg wrote a dissent, the internet would explode.
I came up with a couple slogans. You can't spell truth without Ruth.
I surely would not be in this room today without the determined efforts of men and women who kept dreams alive.
I've heard that she does 20 push-ups 3 times a week or something. I mean, we can't even get off the floor. We can't even get down to the floor.
That's true.
Is she amazing? How about those planks? The Gospel According to Andre is the other film I'm excited to share with you. It's a documentary about Andre Leon Talley. He's an icon and monument in the world's fashion scene, and he's been a fixture in my fashion world my entire life. He seems to be everybody's best friend and muse. So I had the opportunity to meet him briefly 5 years ago at the Westin Galleria when I was attending a charity luncheon where Diane von Furstenberg was giving a speech, which she totally killed, and he'd accompanied her on the trip. So he was waiting with her in a giant black limousine, which is what he's known to do outside the hotel. I heard someone yelling, and I noticed he had rolled down the window of his limo and was waving his giant black hand and yelling at me. So I moved closer to see what was going on, and he said, "Girl, those are fabulous shoes. I just wanted you to know."
My mother once said to me, "You know that friend of yours, the African prince? I absolutely have never had a friend who's an African prince." Yes, we met him at that party. Andre.
You can be aristocratic without having been born into an aristocratic family.
I became familiar with Andre Leon Talley through Vogue magazine. He's like a black superhero.
They give a nod to the God.
But you're giving us a futuristic James Brown moment on the shoulders.
He's the Nelson Mandela of couture, the Kofi Annan of what you got on.
His bombastic personality.
Oh, this is a look.
Gave people energy themselves and to take risks.
Why are you being so low-key?
When Andre tosses out all these different words, a lot of people think, oh my God, this guy is crazy.
People's heads went, he was so many things he wasn't supposed to be, and they couldn't get around it.
Fashion should have more quality.
But why don't we see it on the street?
But darling, it depends on what street you're walking on and going down it at what time of day. All of my relatives had style.
Even though they didn't have much, he saw the luxury his grandmother created.
In the South, going to church was the most important thing in life.
And it was a fashion show.
He was outstanding and stood out because of his height, because of his mannerisms.
A bunch of white boys, a duke, decided to throw rocks at me because I was walking the campus. People have said many bad things about me. They used to call me Queen Kong. I was like an ape. I was a gay ape Queen Kong. But I had to move on. I had to get on with my career.
This is Andre Leon Talley reporting live from Paris.
Tu crois que vraiment tu es monsieur qui fait son métier? I think it was the first time they'd ever seen a black man in Paris at the fashion show in a position of importance and of influence.
He was like the black rock cat. Person, what? Person. He's the what?
You don't get up and say, look, I'm black and I'm proud. You just do it. And somehow it impacts the culture.
What moves him is that idea, like, just do it, think it, wear it. There is no hesitation.
She's got to wear this out today.
He is making such a statement about the value of Black life. It is an affirmation.
His career allowed him to say, I showed you I can be what I said I want to be.
Thank you for watching today's show. Please let us know what you liked and what else you'd like to see. Next week, we'll have Emily Ray Porter, co-owner of my favorite office and coffee shop, Royal Blue Grocery in Highland Park Village. She's a lovely fashion plate and will share what it's like to share business with her husband and how Royal Blue Grocery has become home base for all things in Highland Park Village. I love you all and look forward to seeing you again next Monday at 11.